pig position.
You'd think with modern technology nowadays that puppets would be old hat.
Well, I mean, the thing is that that's proved to be a fallacy. I mean, people sort of say about 10 years ago would say, oh, well, they couldn't, you know, Thunderbirds was, if they showed it again, it would be old hat. And it's been proved wrong. And, I mean, this summer we've got this exhibition in Blackpool. We're getting ready for it now. I mean, much better than the one at Wolverhampton, much bigger. And, you know, sort of, I hope that it goes just as well then, you know, as the Wolverhampton one, but I'm sure it will. But, I mean, the technology in the puppets nowadays, if Jerry sort of went again, it's so much more advanced. You can get expressions on the figures' faces, and the sort of what I call gizmos in the head, twitches of the nose, you know, sort of eyebrows going up and down, the eyes working all the way round, smiles on their faces, and, you know, they really are incredible now.
I mean, animatronics comes to mind, which, I mean, leaves poor Lady Penelope standing, doesn't it? Because animatronics can do amazing things, almost like real people.
That's right. But, I mean, you must remember that all of this was began with Jerry, because he was the first one to use electronics in puppets at all. Normally, when people worked puppets' mouths, they worked with their thumbs on a string. He was the first one to have magnets and that in the head, which were connected ultimately with the tape recorder. That was unheard of then.
I asked you a little earlier, have you retired? And you went, goodness me, no. Now, you must have some great stories about what happened to you while you in the early days. Any come to mind?
Oh, God,
putting you on the spot here.
You have done, haven't you? I mean, the things that I remember mostly about it, the challenge that it all was. Jerry would never say, can you do something? He would say, you know, sort of what we're going to do is this, and you think, God, you know, how on earth how are we going to do it? And but we just had to, and it was each shot was a challenge, and he's still like that.
Basically, he's a bit of a taskmaster. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's a perfectionist. No, he's a super person to work for. I mean, last week we did a commercial, and it's showing at the moment.
Oh, which one is that then?
Well, it's a Weetabix one,
yes.
Stingray.
Right.
And so Jerry says, oh, Christine can do it. She'll do it. She'll go up that ladder. So Christine found herself going up a ladder onto a sort of a not too steady platform, 15 foot up in the air, stepping off the top of the ladder onto this, working through a hole, you know. Yes, Christine can do it.
No problem. You're only 16, aren't you? Young thing there. Now, Jerry gets so much of the fame, but what are the things that you're proudest of from working on the puppets over the years?
Well, I don't know. I think seeing the pictures second time round, seeing the success that they must have been, it's very satisfying to realise the work that you did 30 years ago was as good as it was, you know.
You've got little children now, 5, 6-year-old going, Mummy, can I have a Thunderbirds puppet for Christmas? Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it is.
Why do you think that is?
I can only think that they were good. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It sounds a bit like showing off and that sort of thing, but there were so many people involved in it. It wasn't just me. There was a tremendous lot in the work. I mean, all in all, working there was about over 200 people in the cutting rooms, the workshops, the puppeteers, the musicians, everybody, you know. And I think that one of Jerry's the sort of clever things that he can do is the fact that he can get the right people together. I think, so it was all of us, and I don't know, we didn't do a bad job, did we?
When you get a production team like that working in TV or in film, there's always a nice bit of scandal going on. Was there any scandal involving the puppets? Did anyone take one home for a Christmas party and it didn't come back?
No, there were no. We were very good. We really were.
I believe
I'm not going to say that there wasn't any scandal, but I don't think there was any with regard to the puppets.
How about the costumes? Because the costumes, if you're looking down at Lady Penelope, are very, very detailed. Yes. Tell me about how the costumes were made.
Well, they had a wardrobe department, and there was in the end, there were about 5 girls in there. But on Thunderbirds, there was a girl called Betty Coleman, and she used to make the men's costumes, and a girl called Zena Ralph, and she used to make Lady Penelope's costumes, and very, very nicely as well. It was very good. Making puppet costumes is totally different, because the material for a start has got to be in scale. The pattern has got to be in scale. The stitching, the buttons, it's a nightmare getting little tiny buttons. And the puppet's got to work. And you get a man with a stiff collar. Well, you can, very often the puppet's head wouldn't turn. So you'd have to surreptitiously loosen the collar so that the wardrobe mistress didn't see. She'd come onto the stage and say, "You've loosened that collar and it doesn't fit properly now," you know.
We could talk forever. It's wonderful to have you on the programme, because you're really a famous puppeteer. Now, if people want to catch up with your work, they can see it on BBC Two this summer, can't they?
Yes, I think Captain Scarlet's going to be the next one, I think.
On BBC Two this summer. And also over at Blackpool, there's the exhibition. Yes. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Lady Penelope. Thank you, Parker, over in the corner. Now, if you thought this was amazing, wait to see this next piece of film.